What's up YouTube? Brian here from Bodies by Brian. Today I'm going to show you how quick and easy it is to make your meal prep for the entire week. We're going to be starting with just some skinless chicken breasts. I've got 2 pounds here to last me for the entire week. Basically one meal a day for 7 days, 6 or 7 days. The amount of protein you're going to need is going to depend on your daily caloric intake. You can contact me at Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter, which is linked in the description below, and I can help you with your macronutrients. We're going to start by just dicing them up. I personally like to use kitchen shears because I don't trust myself with a regular kitchen knife and don't want any excess blood ended up in my protein. So we're just going to cut it up into bite-sized pieces. Okay, so we have all of our chicken diced up. 2 pounds is a little smaller than I thought it was going to end up. Might actually do 2.5 pounds next week. We have some basic spices here. Just pick these up at Walmart and get them anywhere. Got just chicken and herb seasoning. I change it up from week to week. This week I'm doing the Tennessee apple butter. Has a very, very sweet aftertaste. Then I also have honey and sea salt, giving you that sweet and salty combination. Then putting a little Montreal chicken. So what I look for when I go to the store, I do fish for my non-lifting days, chicken for my lifting days, and I try to find seafood and poultry specific seasoning, and like I said, just change it up from week to week so my taste buds don't get bored. So what we're going to do is just start mixing it around. Make sure all of the pieces get covered really, really well. All right, so what we're looking for is that the pinkish color of the chicken when it comes out of the package, just looking to make sure we don't have any more of that, so that I know all of the diced up pieces have been covered thoroughly. Now we're going to set this aside and we're going to get started on our fish. Now before I started recording today, I went ahead and put my 2 cups of jasmine rice in the rice cooker, got it started. Took my salmon fillets straight out of the freezer, put them in the sink with a bunch of hot water just to thaw them out. Now I happened to get the last bag of skinless salmon fillets from Walmart, so had to fill in with some tilapia fillets just to make sure I had enough fish for my non-lifting days. So I will take them over to the cutting table and get those diced up just like the chicken. All right, so we're going to be cutting up our fish fillets just like we did the chicken. We're going to end up with much more of a mess to clean up when we're done. Going right back to using the kitchen shears. Now of course protein is protein, so it doesn't really matter whether you get fish or chicken on your lifting days or your non-lifting days like I do. More or less didn't want to get tired of the chicken or the fish, so I use my lifting and non-lifting days as a way to split up which protein I get for that day. That way I make sure I get a variety throughout the week and I don't get bored with either one. If I were to get fresh salmon fillets, I would be using my fingers to tear it apart because that's a good way to find the little bones that get left in. or if you get, you know, market fresh, you should expect all the bones to still be in there. And if you were to use the kitchen shears for that, you'd miss out on quite a bit, and you're going to end up biting into them throughout the week. All right, so we've gotten all of our fish diced up, cleaned up all of our nice salmonella pool, that we, standing salmonella juice that we had here. Just like the chicken, got some basic seafood seasoning, a little bit of zesty lemon, and garlic and herb. And we're going to apply it just as liberal as we did for the chicken. All right, we've got our stovetop frying pan heated up already. Just going to do some olive oil cooking spray. Stovetop is what I use most of the time. If I start my meal prep a little bit earlier in the afternoon and I have skin on fish fillets, I'll do grilled fish instead of stovetop. The skinless fish or pre-skinned fillets tend to fall apart pretty bad on the grill top, even with aluminum foil. And for my diagnosed or undiagnosed OCD viewers out there, yes, I'm washing my hands between each segment, touching the camera, moving the tripod around, and then going right back to putting my hands into the protein. So we will let that cook covered for a minute while I go wash my hands again. All right. Time to flip it. As you can see, all the chicken is now nice and brown. And the intent of cooking it covered is to make sure that the meat doesn't dry out as we're cooking it. I promise, as you get to the point where this is part of your daily routine and you are eating it day in and day out, something as seemingly simple as making sure your bites are nice and juicy will come to be a very important part of your meal prep. And just to make sure that we keep nice juicy protein, I put just a little bit, oh, that was a lot of it, sorry, just a light drizzle of extra virgin olive oil over top of it, and then we recover it and let it cook a little longer. All right. Now make sure you don't overcook it. As you can see, all of my chicken is a light brown because of course the day you actually eat this, you're going to be putting it in the microwave for about 2 to 2.5 minutes. So it's going to get a little bit more cooking on the day you actually eat it. So don't worry if it doesn't look like it's nice and dark brown and cooked all the way through. All right, looks like our last bit of chicken is cooked here. Yeah. Like I said, since we've diced this up same as the chicken, we're doing this stovetop as well. I will likely do another video where I'm recording early in the afternoon, and I'll show you my tricks for grilling the fish, which I have to admit does taste a lot better, but takes a little more time and prep. So I have to save that for another day. And because this fish came straight out of the freezer and it's still thawing out, I opted not to put any of the cooking spray in this time because I end up with a lot more runny than I would like. All right, so we'll let that cook. While that's cooking, I'll be portioning out the chicken. Have the Tupperware behind me already portioned out with the rice and the first batch of chicken. So I'll show you that when I'm done with cooking all the protein completely. And I'll see you in a few. Our fish is over on the stovetop, still cooking. But in the interest of saving time, I've been over here portioning out while all the protein was cooking. So I'm getting ready to add my broccoli florets, which is just frozen bag. We are going to season our broccoli as well. And of course, the day we eat this, we are going to put it in the microwave with the top on for, again, 2 to 2.5 minutes. And what we end up with basically is steamed vegetables. Because they will go straight in the refrigerator after this and will not be completely thawed the day we go to eat them. Of course, we don't want to neglect our green veggies, so I will go grab a second bag and get that spaced out a little better. All right, now we've got even portions in each day. I will take what's left, put it in a Ziploc bag, and put that back in the freezer for next week. We've got our ever so reliable garlic and herb, and then just some generic vegetable seasoning. I say generic, I don't really look at the ingredients. It's just the flavors I've come to like over the total amount of time I've been meal prepping. Played with different seasonings, getting something different every week till I found something I really liked, and now I just stick with it. You don't have to season your vegetables, and you definitely don't have to dump all the garlic and herb on it like I just did. So let's try a little bit different technique that I forget from week to week. There we go. All right, next we'll add our baby carrots. Okay, so we've got our baby carrots right out of the bag. Just put them in a Tupperware, washed them real quick in the sink with filtered water. I'm gonna add those. Now, like the rest of this is personal preference. What I like to do is throw a little plastic cup in my lunch bag for the day, and I will actually remove the baby carrots before I put my meal prep of the day in the microwave. I just prefer my carrots cold, but again, that's up to you, your preference. You can season them or not. I happen to like raw carrots, so I don't put any seasoning on these. There we go. Now we've got all our veggies added. The fish is almost done cooking over there, so I will pause the video, go grab that, and finish portioning everything out. As you can see, everything's been portioned out now into our 7 different days. The last thing I'm going to add is some chicken stock. Got this idea from watching Brian Shaw videos. On his advice, tried it more so for the rice than for the protein, just to make it a little bit easier to eat and keep it from being so dry. So that's just a little bit. Something I've done in the past before I started using this trick of his is I would run just a little bit of filtered water over top of this part of the Tupperware right before I put it in the microwave the day I'm eating it. But chicken stock gives it a little bit better flavor than just adding water. Either one will keep the rice from being dry and help when you go to mix this up after it's done cooking in the microwave that day. There you go. All right, everything finished, tops put on. We're ready to put them in the refrigerator to be able to grab one quickly on the way into work in the morning or on the way out the door to work. This process usually takes me 2 to 2.5 hours Sunday afternoon. That's when I'm not cooking the fish on the grill top. That's just using the stove for all the protein. With filming, of course, it took a little bit longer. And that 2 to 2.5 hours actually includes the time to run into the grocery store and get everything. If I'm just going to the grocery store for my meal prep, I'm in and out in about 20 to 25 minutes. If I'm doing the rest of my weekly shopping at the same time, obviously it's going to take a little longer. But that's it. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Comment down below if you have any questions or need more details on anything I've covered. And as always, thanks for watching.